cocaine sharks aren't the only animals getting high. How spaced out moths, dopey dolphins, and drunk monkeys have all been recorded partaking in recreational drug use. Wow. And I always like these kind of articles because frequently you have the anti-legalization crowd saying that, people aren't supposed to be looking for recreational releases and stuff like that. But we're not the only creatures in the animal kingdom that do this. Everybody does it, apparently. So it's no secret from that moment when humans first got up and walked on two legs, we've been looking for ways to get wasted.
But it's there's theory to say that that's the reason why we have agriculture in the first place, was because we wanted to grow shit to make beer. So we started to properly grow what is it, fucking wheat or something? The maize. I don't know. I don't know what they grew, but it might be corn or something. Just to make beer. And that's one of the reasons why we got agriculture in the first place. There's theories to that.
Yeah.
I don't know how true they are.
But we can take through this article, we can read it all, or we can actually thumb down to the interesting parts. Let's take a look at the fun, more interesting parts. It says, it isn't just humans that make a habit of consuming mind-altering substances. It says, dolphins passing the pufferfish. From their complex social structures to their apparent sense of self-identity, scientists are continually finding ways which dolphins resemble humans. But one of the strangest similarities scientists have ever observed is dolphin also to appear and to enjoy drugs. In 2014, a BBC film crew captured footage of dolphins playfully passing around a pufferfish. The dolphins would chew on the unfortunate fish before batting it to the next dolphin in the pod. According to John Dowser, a zoologist and producer for the show, this is part of a cetacean equivalent of passing a joint. After passing the pufferfish around a few circles, the dolphin did appear to become stoned, lying motionless between the surface of the water and gazing at their reflections. As a defense mechanism, the pufferfish secrete a compound called tetradioxin in their eggs, liver, and small amounts in their spines. In human, high doses lead to paralysis, mental disturbances, convulsions, and death. In popular culture, this toxin is often caused to be the secret ingredient in a Haitian voodoo zombification ritual. So basically, they're taking a small dose of something.
That's right. It tells us there in high doses, it leads to paralysis and shit. But tell us what it does in normal dose. Well, what's a little bit do?
Well, you can look at these fish, and now you know what it does.
Maybe we want to try half a gram and see what it does.
No,
you have to chew on a fish, though.
That's it. You swim around and chew on a fish for a while. That's kind of.
Do I have to swim? I don't want to swim and be high. That sounds dangerous.
But they got to lay there in the water and look at your reflection. Ooh. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, cocaine sharks. However, not all animals in the sea are getting their drugs naturally or even voluntarily. Recently, science from Oswaldo Cruz Foundation found that 13 shark-nosed sharks collected from the waters near Rio de Janeiro tested positive for cocaine.
And sharp-nosed sharks as well. It's like, that's perfect, isn't it? People who take cocaine a little bit too much is sharp-nosed shark. That's what you are. You love it. You love it. One nostril's dissolved from the abuse.
Well, so researchers found so much cocaine in the sharks' livers and muscles that they were concerned that it could be reducing their life expectancy. Now, they're not saying that these sharks aren't actually just seeking out this stuff. It's being released from the population of Brazil, Rio. And so they're basically saying they get about a gram, just under a gram of cocaine released into the water system for every 1,000 people. So there's a good bit of cocaine going into the river out there in Rio, and the sharks, they don't know if the sharks are getting high. They don't suspect that the sharks are getting high, but they say it is affecting their reproductive systems and other things like that. So cool.
I don't know what's scarier, right? A shark that's on cocaine, or a shark that is no longer getting cocaine after he's had it. He's on the come down.
He's on a withdrawal, right? Cocaine sharks.
Fucking looking at me.
I wonder who the heck decided to go and measure sharks for cocaine. It's like, interesting to find out. Was somebody else tripping on shrooms one day? Said, "Hey man, we ought to measure sharks for cocaine." Is that the deal? I don't know.
He's probably just a made-up story.
All right, let's go to the next one. It says mandrills and hallucinogenic ibogaine. While dolphins and sharks might inadvertently take drugs, there are a few animals which appear to deliberately seek out plants with psychoactive properties. One such plant is the tabernacle ibogaine shrub, also known as ibogaine, which grows wild in Gabon. In high doses, the root is extremely powerful psychedelic effects, which long been used in religious ceremonies of the indigenous groups of the Congo Basin. In recent years, ibogaine-assisted therapy has become popular, if legally dubious, treatment for opioid addiction. But the researchers claim that it's not just humans who have harnessed the psychoactive effects. George Samarelli, an independent plant biologist, claimed in 2002 book, Animals and Psychedelics, that mandrills use the plant as a natural stimulant. He claims to observe the animals dig up and consume the root while preparing for a fight for mating rights. You got to get high and then you got to have sex. That's what the mandrills are doing here. Hey, crazy. So it's not just humans doing this stuff now. Let's keep on. What's the next animal we're going to look for? Lemurs chewing on toxic millipedes. Another group of animals which fuse the medicinal recreational aspects of some natural chemicals are lemurs of Madagascar. Dr. Louise Peccary of Lebanese Institute for Primate Research in Göttingen has observed red-fronted lemurs deep in the forest just as the first heavy rains arrived. The rains triggered many giant millipedes to emerge from the underground hiding places. Despite the fact that the millipede secretions contain deadly cyanide, one female lemur quickly leapt on the emerging insect, snatching one up and chewing it. As she chewed it, the millipede released its deadly toxin, causing the lemur to salivate and drool an orange liquid. But rather than releasing the poisonous critter, the lemur continued to chew, rubbing her tail and genitals and anal region with the insect.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
This just got X-rated. Oh my God.
It really did.
Repeat that again for the viewers.
They can go back and re-listen to it, rewind, okay? Most strangely of all, footage of lemurs captured by BBC film crew in 2004 appears to show lemurs becoming high on the toxin. The footage shows that the lemurs appeared to have entered a trance-like state, biting the toxic millipedes and dosing themselves in a mixture of a mixture of the salvia and poison.
Saliva and poison.
Was it
so
saliva?
Yeah, it's like they're spitting on themselves.
Okay,
well, these dirty bastards. They're spitting on themselves and fucking rubbing their genitalia with insects they found.
Insect glue and everything else, just going for it.
Oh, man.
And now we're going to go into hawk moss and deadly datura nectar. It said, while lemurs exploit the intoxicating properties of some toxic chemicals, other animals seek out drugs precisely because they are toxic. The datura is also known as Jimson weed, is a highly toxic flower plant in the nightshade family, sometimes nicknamed devil's trumpet. These flowers are a natural source of powerful hallucinogenic compounds that have been used traditionally in spiritual practices of the Navajo and Pima Native American tribes. Ingesting the flowers or seeds leads to delirium, confusion, agitated behavior, and can become fatal in high doses. However, none of that stops the hawk moth, one of the world's largest moths, making the datura a favorite snack. Hawk moths are so fond of the nectar that the flower that studies have shown that their brains react more strongly to the smell than any other flower. Sounds like this moth has its brain wired to a specific plant, kind of like humans and cannabis. Interesting. Would you think? Yeah. Kind of like humans go like, cannabis? Yeah. Datura flowers rely on the hawk moth's preference for the plant, largely pollinated by, and it is largely pollinated by their visits. Kind of like what humans have done with cannabis. We picked this plant up and we have decided it's ours and we're going to take care of it.
Or maybe it picked us up. Maybe
that's true. Who's cultivating who? You know what I mean?
That's right.
And then we'll go into this one, drunken monkeys. If you're expecting to discover that Animal Kingdom was full of drug addicts, these mundane explanations might seem a little disappointing. However, there's one group of animals that have been well documented to seek out intoxication. Perhaps it should be no surprise that monkeys, our close genetic cousins, would be among the biggest boozers in the animal kingdom. While animals like elk and cows often spotted getting wasted on fermented apples by accident, scientists believe that monkeys will preferentially seek out the alcohol. Biologists from UK Berkeley found that monkeys will actively search for fruit that has become ripe enough to produce about 2% alcohol by volume. The researchers collected the fruit that had been eaten and discarded by the black-handed spider monkeys in Panama, as well as taking urine samples. Importantly, the urine collected from the monkeys contained secondary metabolites of alcohol that was not simply by passing through their systems. Basically, the monkeys are getting wasted. So here you go. We're not the only animals out there who like to get high. We're just animals.
That's
and
right,
all animals
man.
like that, you know?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And this is
It's
only
like-
the ones that we know about. You know, that's the interesting part to me.
Now, I'm sure at one point in history we would have known about it because we were these animals too. You know what I mean? And we just kind of lose the knowledge of we've moved our way into civilization. But I reckon there's loads of plants out there, right? Oh, like them blue lilies from Egypt that they have on hieroglyphics and shit. That's like thousands of
Oh, you're
years
talking
ago.
about the lotuses, the blue lotus.
Yeah, the blue lotus. Yeah,
It's
Fucking-
supposed to be
there's loads of
psychoactive,
shit
yeah.
out there. And it makes me wonder. What are you saying? You want to try some centipede? Would you do it?
Me? No.
Yeah. Would you
I'm
do it,
not-
Billy?
Nah, don't.
Oh man, come on, just a little bit, just one blast. Some puffer fish. There's none of this sound tempting to you. You know, if you were going to get mashed up off one of these insect
Both from
animals,
insects.
yeah. Well, yeah, that was. It wouldn't be there rubbing genitalia with a centipede and shit. I want to try that one.
Well, I usually
That's
like
a bit
to
too
leave,
much, man.
I like to leave my recreational use down to something that even if I'm stupid is not going to kill me.
None of
You
these
know.
said they were deadly.
The pufferfish. Go chew on a pufferfish for a while, bro.
Yeah, only a little bit of the right bit though.
Well, I mean, most of them said, consumed in high quantities can be deadly, but yeah, just I don't know. I prefer my I call them legal, illegal, my preferred methods of enjoying a recreational buzz to be non-toxic. It's just me though.
Yeah, that's right. That's the safe thing about cannabis and mushrooms, isn't it? You're not gonna do yourself too much damage if you have too much.
No,
That's
you can
an
have
important
a
thing.
tough night and you'll be fine tomorrow.
A good story. Lots of interesting facts there. And you just remember, everybody, it's even the animals get high, man. Everybody does it. Don't feel bad. Don't let them make you think you're doing anything wrong. It's completely natural to get high sometimes, as nature shows. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you for the full show on Sundays on youtube.com/high on homegrown. Thanks for watching.